Hello everyone. I want to start this video out by saying all constitutional rights invoked, none waived for this video. As we do, you know how we do. It's been quite a while since I addressed you guys on video, so I felt it necessary to make a video today. And I want to just touch light on something. In general, I want to talk about consistency. I want to talk about consistency because consistency and continuity in actions is very important when you're approaching anything in life that you do. It could be a business venture, it could be a legal case like I'm involved in now, or it could be a continuous pursuit of something that you have set as a goal. All right. Now, I want to touch on that and say that that's important because there is always a way for you to reach your goals. That goal can be if you're seeking justice, or if you are trying to get that good dream job that you always wanted to get, or if you're trying to achieve certain results as it relates to your physical appearance, maybe in the gym or diet or whatever. I want to say that that's important. Consistency is key, is a very key element in that, because when you are consistent with something, you will also have certain, I want to say, in my belief, supernatural forces that will come and kind of act as the glue, if you will, to keep certain things together. And that might supersede most people who are on the outside viewing. That might supersede their ability to understand that, if you will. And I want to say that that's important because I used to always hear people say never give up, or you have to, if you really don't succeed, try and try again. And if you are trying to obtain a certain result as it relates to any kind of success or whatever you're trying to accomplish, any kind of accomplishment, you must understand that you will be challenged. Okay, you will be challenged. And I believe that that challenge is something that you will come to be proud of. And that challenge is something that will act as a key element to initiate appreciation in your heart and in your mind, body, and soul. Because a lot of times we as humans, we learn through pain. Okay, if you take pain out of the equation of most things, then there will be no lesson learned. So sometimes we have to experience pain, or a broken heart, or a letdown in a relationship, or be stabbed in the back. And those things can be blessings, okay? It can actually be a blessing for you to be stabbed in the back. And a lot of people might say, okay, what are you talking about? You sound crazy. But a lot of times, because we don't see our greater future, and because not all of us have the ability to be able to see into the future, well, most people don't, then you won't understand why things are happening to you at the time that they are happening. But most of the time, things happen to you to prepare you for what is to come. And a lot of times, I can even look back on certain things and say, well, if I hadn't gone through that, or if I hadn't been stabbed in the back by that person like that, then I wouldn't have been able to understand what was going on in this situation or that situation. So sometimes it's all about how we look at things. So it is important to not be so quick to say, okay, why is all of this happening, or why did that happen, or why did that happen. And I believe that you have some religious people that tell people don't question what God does or whatever. I'm not really religious, so I don't speak in terms of that. But you have some religious people, they say, well, don't question God. And I think what that can also mean is never have doubts when things are happening to you. Take it in, accept it, internalize it, and consecrate on that, and try to see, am I supposed to get from this? What is this telling me? What is the real reason why this is going on? Because a lot of times in human minds, um, they can get so caught up to where they are, the mind is trying to figure out everything. Why this, why that, and trying to put everything uh, in a logical perspective. But a lot of times, what happens to you is not going to be logical, because we are challenged creatively at times, so that our problem solving skills can increase, and so that we can actually learn, in the lesson that's being presented to us, effectively teach us through pain. Okay, so sometimes pain is very necessary, because without pain you wouldn't remember what happened to you when you were young and that happened, or you wouldn't remember how you got your heart broken in this situation. And a lot of times, because you got your heart broken or because you experienced that pain, that is going to allow you to move very swiftly in your future, and it's going to equip you with the mental mechanisms to allow you to navigate through certain hardships that people would not understand. And so that is why I feel that it is important to acknowledge what goes on in your life, and acknowledge, what's happening, because certain things happen to you because it's for you. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing, but it could ultimately mean that you are going to have to remember this lesson in 10 years, 5 years, 2 months, 3 months, or whatever. So you must understand that when things are happening to you, don't always question, okay, well, why is this happening? Why is this happening? You have to keep an open mind, open heart, and open spirit, and be very attentive to the things that is placed on your plate. Now, I'm saying all of that to say that, in my situation, with this federal case that we're going through, um, I've learned a lot, and I've learned a lot not only from this federal case. Many of you know that, um, we had a state case in the Franklin County Court of Common Pleas. We had a case there, and we also had a case. I had a case in Summit County, in Akron, in their Court of Common Pleas there, and we had a case at the Sixth Circuit. Sixth Circuit Court in Cincinnati, and we also had a case that went into certiorari with the United States Supreme Court. And I want to say that, a lot of people would look at those cases and say, well, Mark, you didn't prevail in any of those cases. And I would like to say I most certainly did. I most certainly did, because it's because of what I went through in those cases is what allowed me to be able to really navigate through this case the way that I have navigated through this case. It's really not about what someone else's definition of a win is, but it is ultimately about what is your definition of winning. What is a win to you? What do you regard as the win? And so I feel like those cases that I fought prepared me for this case, and that allowed me to understand these mechanisms. It allowed me to move swiftly and effectively. And although everything has not been perfect, it's not meant to be perfect. Okay? And that goes back to what I just explained when I said that sometimes we will get lessons placed upon our plate, and they will be creative lessons, and they will cause pain, and they will cause pain, and that pain will turn, it can sometimes turn into passion. All right, so everybody operates different, but I do want to make this video to give all of the viewers, I want to encourage you that if you had anything that ever challenged you, I want you to pick it apart and say, what is this really trying to tell me? What is this really trying to tell me? Okay, and I learned how to, you know, pick things apart like that, and sit down and dissect it and try to understand what the real big picture is, because I had a third grade teacher, and she used to always tell me, you have to go back to self. So I never forgot that. So when you go back to self, you say, okay, self, what is this trying to tell? What is this trying to tell me? And when you can have a relationship with yourself like that, and you can break things down, you won't be so quick to react to a lot of pettiness or a lot of things that people will try to place upon you to derail you if you're going on ahead and will. So, you know, I want this video to be more focused about giving people the courage and the strength and the open-mindedness to pursue what they are trying to pursue, okay? Because there are higher forces, whether you want to believe it or not. There are always higher forces that are watching, okay? And they are watching everything, and they can see everything, and that is why no one can really get away with nothing they do to someone. All right, so we say that we experience pain and we wonder why, but a lot of times you wouldn't have learned the lesson that you was meant to learn if there was no pain involved. Okay, or when that toddler touched that hot stove, he wouldn't have known not to touch it if it didn't make him go ouch. So a lot of times we have to learn through pain, you know, and a lot of people they learn about how to deal with pain in their personal lives with relationships and things like that, but pain can come in many different styles and flavors. So I think that ultimately all of the pain is placed upon you to teach you, okay? Because what else could it be for? There can be nothing, no other reason why pain is inflicted on you but for you to learn. Because if you take pain out of the equation, everybody would be doing what they want to do. Everybody would be doing what they want to do. And like I tell you guys, a lot of times, you know, in these court cases, a lot of these people, they thought that they could do what they want to do. You cannot do what you want to do. There is rules to every game. And every player that enters a game cannot come into the game and change the rules. I don't care who their friends are. I don't care how much money they got. I don't care how big their posse is. I don't care about none of that, because there's going to be supernatural forces that intercept what they think that they're going to try to do. Okay? And they might not understand that, but a lot of times they will come to understand that. Okay? And at some point they may still be confused, like, okay, wow, oh, that was a coincidence. When people don't understand things, they write things off as a coincidence. There are no coincidences. All right? There are no coincidences. There's nothing but pure balance. All right? And everything has a way of balancing itself back out when it becomes imbalanced in an unjust way. Okay? So I want to give you guys courage. This video was ultimately about giving those that are pursuing something in their life, brother, I don't care what it is. You can win and you can overcome anything, but you have to understand what is being placed on your plate. What is it that is being placed on my plate, and what is this trying to tell me? Okay, so that's the video today. I wanted to make a short video because, again, I want to give everybody courage. I want to encourage you to pursue whatever it is that you need to pursue or achieve. Go after your goals, no matter how impossible it seems. It could seem impossible when people tell you, oh, you're not going to do this, oh, that's not going to happen, or you're not, don't do that, don't even try. Ignore them. Ignore them, because they know not what they're speaking about. Okay? They're speaking from their perspective. All right? So you have to look at it from your perspective and ask, what is it that's going on? Why has this situation been placed upon me? And what must I do with this? Okay? So with that being said, I want to say all constitutional rights invoked, not waived. And I will be creating another video this week, and it will go on the update. It will go out, and it will be predominantly about the update on the federal case and where we are at in the discovery. And discovery have been propounded on all of the defendants, and we're still processing some other discovery mechanisms are being worked out. Okay, so I will provide an update with that, and we will talk about motions to compel, subpoenas, and things of that nature in the next video. So until then, all constitutional rights invoked, none waived, and we out of here.